What's good, guys? This is your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back with another episode of Uganda Connect, and I'm gonna do an interview here with the Maaso Glory YouTube channel. She's a sister out of the UK, living in London. She is a Ugandan, and she was born in Uganda, raised in London, but she's actually doing business, like an export business in Uganda right now, and she wanted to come on and talk about her experience. So I want you guys to go and check her out at the first comment pinned to the top and subscribe to her, support her channel. And guys, let's get straight into the interview. What's good, Kinganda? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson here with an episode of Kinganda Connect. And today I have the lovely Maaso Glory YouTube channel. She's a Ugandan that is living in the United Kingdom. And we're going to be talking about a few things, especially how to run a business while living in the UK and how to do it still running that business in Uganda. Thank you for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Tell people a little bit about you, yourself, the Maaso Glory YouTube channel, and all of that.
Okay, so I do have a YouTube channel called Master Glory, which is
Mm-hmm.
spelled Maaso. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, I kind of just do different things on there. I do stuff about my life in the UK. I do beauty vlogs, travel vlogs, and then I do a bit of Ugandan. Like when I travel to Uganda, I do a bit of that as well. So it's kind of like an all-rounder about different aspects of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
very soon, I'm also going to start uploading like business tips and things like that, just to show how I do my business on a day-to-day basis, how we do the shipping and how all that kind of stuff goes, just to sort of like inspire people that want to do something similar. So you guys
Now,
make sure that you check that out. Master Glory YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out.
and just to let you guys know, the link of her channel is the first comment pinned to the top. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for that. Let me ask you, because obviously I can hear the UK, the United Kingdom accent. You have it there. How long have you been living in the United Kingdom area, and when did you leave?
Hmm. So I left Uganda when
Mm-hmm.
I think I was quite young. I was probably about 9 years old when I
Mm-hmm.
left Uganda. So, and now I'm not going to give you my age right now, but but I've lived in the UK for so many, 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 many years. Put it this way,
Mm-hmm.
that I left when I was a kid, and I've lived in the UK for most of my life. I went to school in Uganda. Well,
Mm-hmm.
partially, I went to school in Uganda, and
Mm-hmm.
then I went to primary school. I went to primary school in the UK, and I went to high school, and then I went to university as well in the UK. So I studied a little bit in Uganda and then continued in the UK. So you could say that I've kind of had a bit of both worlds.
Right.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this, because I have a few friends who came from Uganda and to the United States, and then came from Uganda, went to the UK. Especially shout out
Hmm.
to the Waltham, Massachusetts area and the DMV, the Maryland, Virginia, DC area. A lot of Ugandans out there. But I want to know, because you have a very strong passion for your country, and
Yes,
I,
I
I
do.
can tell that through your content and from me talking to you. What drove you? Because obviously you're in the UK, you've been educated there. The UK is a great country for opportunities and things like that. What drives your passion to keep wanting to know what's going on in Uganda, and keep working with your country, although you're now a UK citizen?
I think for me, um, I was born in Uganda, so I will always have that affiliation with Uganda. And I think living in the UK, you kind of get this whole thing of everybody works a 9 to 5. So you just go to work and you come back from work and then you go home. It's like a cycle, a repetitive cycle. So I just wanted to do something different. I just thought to myself, I need to break this cycle because I don't want to be doing a 9 to 5 every
Mm-hmm.
day working for
Mm-hmm.
somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
so with that, I just thought, let me try and think of a way that I
Mm-hmm.
can have or create a business back
Mm-hmm.
home, it will give
Mm-hmm.
me a reason to it give me a reason to keep on going back home and
Mm-hmm.
um just keep things going basically.
So let me ask you this: when you came up with this idea, it's still a challenge, because I'm an African American and getting to Africa is a challenge, but it's even a
Mm,
challenge for those of you who are from, Uganda, because you're still, having to leave and come back and stuff like that. What was the
mm.
challenge of even finding out what business you could operate in and do and be profitable in Uganda? How long did it take you to come up with this, the idea and what you need to be doing?
So initially, what I did, I used to go back on holiday. I used to go on
Mm-hmm.
holiday to Uganda and just kind of, you could say that it was a bit of market research.
Mm-hmm.
So just to brief you a little bit on what is my business. It's basically a cosmetics business. We sell like cosmetic products, beauty products, and stuff like that. So what
Mm-hmm.
happened is that I stayed connected with my friends who are in Uganda, like who I grew up with, and they kept on calling me and saying, "Oh, you know what? I like this. I like this lotion. I like this. Can you get that for me? I like this. I like this. Can you get that for me?" So I was like, I'll just bring it over when I come on holiday. So I used to take them loads of stuff when I used to go on
Mm-hmm.
holiday. And then my friends
Okay.
used to be like, you can make some money from this. Like this stuff is really good. You know that you can make a business and literally be bringing that stuff over to us,
Mm-hmm.
and then we could be. So that is where the initial idea came from. But
Mm-hmm.
also, once I got it in my head that I needed to do business, what happened is that I got a bit of money, and then
Mm-hmm.
I just thought to myself, should I buy land or should I get a business? Remember
Ah,
what you were
okay.
talking about in your previous show?
Yeah,
I saw that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I was like, so I've got this bit of money with me. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
either gonna buy a piece of land or I'm either gonna it was literally between the two. So then when I
Mm-hmm.
came to Uganda on holiday,
Mm-hmm.
my friend said to me, okay, let's have a look. I can help you to look for a shop,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then if you're interested you can get the shop. So I was like, okay. So I got one of my friends to be looking for a shop for me, and then another one of my friends was looking for land for me. So it was,
Mm.
the coin was going to swing either way. It's
Very
going to
smart.
swing
Okay.
either way. So and then what happened is that my friend, he knew somebody who owned the mall where we're located, Equatorial Mall. He then said to me, we've found a shop right now, so you need to come today. You need to come right now and view this shop. So
Mm-hmm.
literally, I went on the same day to view the shop, had a look around, the mall. I liked it. It was in the city, and I just thought, okay, I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna have to go for the shop. And my reasoning behind the reason why I chose the shop over the land was
Mm-hmm.
because I thought, okay, if I invest in this business and then it will
Mm-hmm.
give me a profit, then I can use
Mm-hmm.
that profit to buy the land, but then I'll
Right.
still have my shop as well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how it basically started off. But I started off selling stuff online. I didn't start
Mm-hmm.
off at the shop. So we did the online thing for about, I would say probably close to 3 years. I used to
Mm-hmm.
just sell stuff online, and then my friend, and I would send it to Ghana, and then my friend would deliver it to the clients. And I did that for 3 years, and that was very good because it helped people to get to know me.
Mm-hmm.
And then after people had gotten to know me, that is when I got my shop.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because obviously in 2020, doing things online in Uganda, because most people don't use a debit or credit card like we do in the UK or United States.
Yeah,
What were the
yeah,
challenges? Because people use mobile money a lot here. What were the
yeah.
challenges getting people to interact with your site and getting traffic to the site? How were you able to build that up?
So I started off with a Facebook page. So I started off
Mm,
with with my Facebook page. So like on my Facebook page, I would usually like I'm a very private person. I'm a very
mm-hmm,
private person, but then at the same time, I love anything to do with business. So like when I did my course, when I did my business course, when I did my master's, we did this module where they were saying to us that if you want to get into business, you need to get out there, like don't be shy. So I had to kind of forget about being shy, and I made myself more visible online. I'll give you an example. I started posting a lot more about my, just normal things like interacting with people on Facebook, just saying, oh, hi guys, it's a beautiful day today. And, how are you doing? And just
Mm-hmm.
posting little jokes and things like that. It wasn't necessarily things that were business related, but it was just things for people to kind
Mm-hmm.
of start getting to know me and warm to me. So then in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of that, I then started like putting pictures of like whatever that I was selling. But again, I didn't make it that obvious. I would just put a picture of, let's say, a particular lotion. I'll be like, oh, I like this lotion. And then people will be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's really nice. Like, are you selling it? And then I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm selling it. Like it was, like I wasn't sure.
Brilliant. Okay.
Like obviously I knew I was selling it, but like I had to
Right.
kind of be
Right.
like, yeah, I think so, because I wasn't really, I wasn't really used to it. I had to style it out
Right.
a bit, I had to style it out a
Uh-huh.
bit. Well, now, if
Mm-hmm.
somebody asked me, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm selling it. but
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
but like before, I was like really coy. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. So then I think I started it from there. When people,
Mm-hmm.
every time I posted, I started going into shops and just finding little unique things and then just posting them on my page. And people were like, oh, we really want this. We really like this. So I was like, okay, if you like it, I can send it over to you. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's basically how it started. And the way that we operate our business, even up to this point, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
because as you mentioned, they don't use debit cards. you
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to study the if you're starting a business, you have to study the area or the culture, let me say the culture of of the environment that you're going to be trading in. And when I say the culture, I'm not relating to um like tribalist. I'm not meaning in a tribalist way. I just really mean like, okay, understanding that, okay, in Uganda they don't use credit, they don't use debit cards, they don't use credit cards. So
Right.
what do they use? They use
Mm-hmm.
cash. What do they use? They use mobile money. How does
Mm-hmm.
mobile money work? Okay, they've got Airtel, they've got MTN. If somebody's an Airtel, they can send it to an Airtel person to make it cheaper. And then knowing the transfer rates as well. I had to study all that kind of stuff, like, because although
Mm-hmm.
I'm Ugandan, as you know, I don't live in Uganda, so
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of like ask my friends and do some market research, which I think is really important when you're getting into business to understand. And so when I understood how people in Uganda, my potential clients, like to do things, I delivered my product to them in the way which makes it easier for them to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really like the Facebook pages, especially for people
Mhm.
coming into the continent, because a lot of people in Uganda will interact more on Facebook, I've noticed, than
Yeah.
let's say on YouTube.
Hmm.
Um, did you have
Hmm.
a certain strategy with posting on your Facebook page or creating content for that page?
So what I did, so initially it was like my personal page.
Mm-hmm.
Initially it was my personal page, but then I just thought, nah, I need to kind of get more professional and actually have a business page. So because it would make it easier for me, like I can't be posting things about my family and then in the same go I'm posting about a product. I just wanted to kind of differentiate it. So what I did,
Mm-hmm.
I then made Facebook pages for my businesses. So I found that really, really helpful, because then I knew that I've got this page. Let me structure myself and set myself. Maybe I'll post 3 times a week about these
Mm-hmm.
particular products and people will see them and then I'll engage with them in that way. But also, it wasn't just Facebook that I was advertising on. I also use WhatsApp and I also
Okay.
use Instagram as well. And what I have to say is that if you're somebody who's going to be into business, you have to identify yourself. You have to make yourself use or learn using social media, because it's a very, very powerful tool in terms
Mm-hmm.
of advertising. Everybody now is on social media. So you definitely have to use Facebook, Instagram, and any other kind of media that in order to promote your products. So I found that very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because obviously you found some creative ways to interact with the local market.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, when you got the shop, I'm assuming that you've had some challenges with running the business and just dealing with maybe the consumers are just maybe doing business in Uganda. And I know that some people who live abroad from Uganda have complained about some of the challenges that they've had with trying to interact with the local markets and things like that. What are some of the challenges that you have encountered in the business, or trying to run it from abroad?
Trying to run the business from abroad, it's, I would probably say, um, okay, sometimes it's to do with the time differences. I might get a customer messaging me, it's like 3 a.m. and they're messaging me, they're like, I want this product. Do you have this product? Can you let me know if you have this? And then you don't respond straight away. Some people might be like, oh, but why are you not responding to me straight away? And I'm thinking to
Mm-hmm.
myself, but like it's 3 a.m. I'm still
Right.
sleeping. So
Right.
sometimes they don't necessarily they don't understand that you're living in a different part of the world. So the times are a little bit different. And then
Mm-hmm.
also what else is challenging? Um I would say that if you're running a business from abroad, you have to be in tune with your figures. You have to be in tune with your figures. Like I speak to my guys
Mm-hmm.
every single day. And
Mm-hmm.
what do I mean by this? Like right now, I know how much money is in my shop, as in not literally in the shop, but like I know how much money that we have made. So we have like an inventory for all our stock. So basically, you have to keep an eye on the stock so that you know exactly what's there. Because if you don't do that, then you kind of find yourself losing track of of everything, and that can be very problematic. And then in Uganda as well, I don't know if this happens in the rest of the world as well, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, if they're your family members and they know that you've got a business,
Mm-hmm.
they'll want you to give them something like without having to pay for it. Like
Oh.
they'll be like, oh, can you give me this? And then I'll pay you next week. I'll pay you when I get paid. And like, obviously, I do love my family and close friends, but sometimes I feel like, why don't we support each other when you know that
Mm-hmm.
someone has a business? Why don't you think to yourself that because you wouldn't really go to a supermarket and ask them to loan you a product that
Mm-hmm.
they're selling, why don't
Mm-hmm.
you think to yourself, this person's trying to make it, let me support them as much as I can? But sometimes you get the impression that they just think that, okay, well, she's got a business, well, that
Mm-hmm.
means that I can come and get things for free, or I can come and
Mm-hmm.
get things at a loan.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be quite challenging when you have to deal with stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
um, personally, in a lot of cases, I've had to say to them that, you know, this is not, with all the due respect, I'm not running a charity. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is my business. This is my business. So you have to respect that this is my business. Okay, maybe if you want a little bit of a discount, I can apply that. But in most cases, it's kind of like an expectation. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then right now, another challenge right now, obviously that we're going through is because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because of the fact that your shipment, sometimes when you ship stuff, it doesn't necessarily arrive very quickly. like
Okay.
like if there was a person who had a business in Uganda, they can get the product to their client there and then, the same day.
Right.
But the challenge
Right.
that we have as people that operate business internationally is that obviously it takes time. When you ship
Mm-hmm.
stuff, you can ship it via air or via cargo. It takes like it can take like 2 to 3 weeks. And in the beginning, because I really wanted to get customers on board, I used to tell them, I knew that it would take like 2, 3 weeks. I used to be like, oh, it's going to take you 5 days. It's going to take 5 days. That's what I used to say to them. And then what
Mm-hmm.
used to happen, and then what used to happen when the 5 days came and the item hasn't arrived, they'd be like, why did you tell me that it's going to take 5 days? Where? It was a whole lot of headache. But like, I kind of just did it because I just wanted to get their business. But
Mm-hmm.
now that I've grown in the business, I realize that it's better to be honest with them. So now I
Mm-hmm.
tell them, listen, if you really want this product, it is a quality product. But obviously, I kind of explain to them the process, and I say, it's coming from the UK, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
even it's coming from another place to the UK and then to Uganda. So it's going to take a while. Maybe leave it about give it about 3 weeks. So I
Mm-hmm.
realized that being honest with them
Hmm.
is really, really good, because in most cases they don't mind that, as long as you're kind of honest with
Right.
them. Yeah, so yeah.
Setting the expectations. Let me ask you this: as far as training and developing the staff, people who work for you,
Hmm.
how do you? Because I've had my challenges with the staff here and there, but
Hmm.
it's better now. But how do you
Yeah.
interact with the people who work for you? How to train them, the customer service aspect. I know it's a little different. In the UK, in America, customer service is very, very well. In Uganda, it's something that's growing.
Oh, you're
Right?
breaking
So
up.
how do you use that? How do you manage? Oh,
I
I said,
lost you.
how do
I lost
you
you.
manage?
No, I
Hello,
lost. I can't hear you. I lost you.
can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you train people and develop people
So
to work for you?
basically, because I I've been working in human resources for a long time, so I'm very familiar with the aspects of training and development. So what I do is that I train my staff myself, but also I
Hmm.
have colleagues who in Uganda who do loads of training sessions. So if I'm not able to, I can get the colleagues to come in and train my staff. But what I normally do, let me give you an example of what I would do. Like if I'm in Uganda, for example, we go out, I take them out, and then I kind of explain to them the different aspects of customer care, customer services, the expectations. The customer always comes first. It was really hard for me in the beginning to get them to I don't want to say to get them to do things like how British people do it, but I had to I had to get their mindset into the way of thinking that, listen, if we're going to do this business, we need to kind of be professional about it, and there's certain things that need to be done by yourselves as members of staff in order to achieve our results. So we do cover those kind of topics, like good customer care. What is good customer care? What does it involve? How do you greet a customer? How do you deal with a customer? How do you deal with, in fact, when I'm recruiting my staff, I ask them, these are some of the questions I ask them. How do you deal with a person who's like really rude to you? Because I basically want to find out how they react to negativity. So we talk about all that stuff, and every 2 weeks I have briefings with them on the phone, and we kind of have like one-on-one sessions just to catch up with them. How's everything going? What
Hmm.
difficulties have you had? And that sort of
Hmm.
stuff.
Okay, okay. I guess the question that a lot of us want to know, because obviously you've been investing and running the business from abroad, would you ever consider moving back to Uganda, and what's stopping you from coming back full time?
I most definitely would consider moving back to
Hmm.
Uganda, because I have several projects in Uganda, not just my business, but I do have other projects going on. Uganda
Hmm.
is my home. Uganda is my
Hmm.
home. I have I do identify with England because I've lived in England for most of my life, but at the end of the
Hmm.
day, home is home. I love the weather in
Hmm.
Uganda. I love the
Hmm.
food. I just miss so much about it. But right
Hmm.
now, I need to go where the money's at. And
Hmm.
the money is in the UK, to be honest with you. So my
Hmm.
strategy, this is a strategy for many people in the diaspora as well, is like
Hmm.
stay in the countries abroad, make the money,
Hmm.
maybe invest it back home, which is what we are doing already.
Hmm.
We are creating opportunities for our people
Hmm.
back home whilst also developing ourselves. And then maybe when
Hmm.
the time comes, we can maybe retire and move back home. But I
Hmm.
also do come home every year. I do come
Hmm.
home every year. So, but literally, it just basically comes down to the fact that I think there are more opportunities in the UK than in
Hmm.
Uganda.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think that, obviously with channels like this one, like yours, people who are interested in Africa, in East Africa, Uganda, what do you think that the diaspora communities can do to make a easier transition to the African continent, and creating opportunities for ourselves, be it the Ugandan diaspora, the African American diaspora. What is it that you think that we can do or that we're missing to make this a little bit of an easier transition?
Is that in terms of like investing, or in what aspect?
Yeah, we could talk about that as far as investment, as far as information, and far as you know, creation, as far as, innovation. What do you think is missing out that that would be able to push people to want to come back more so and say, you know what, Uganda has as many opportunities as the USA or as England, or at least it's the possibilities are there. What do you think that the diaspora can do to push that to more of a real life agenda?
Um,
Hmm.
there is a gap in the leadership, but I won't really, I won't really, I won't really go too much into that. But that pretty much
Yeah, I get what you
explains
said.
everything.
You
That
thought about
pretty
that
much,
before?
that pretty much explains all the dots.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
get you.
that's where it starts and begins. But
Hmm.
I think, okay, for myself, I would say that
Hmm.
when I first came to the UK, like I had this
Hmm.
thing, like I didn't want to speak to Ugandans like in Uganda, because I was like, oh, like I just had this, I don't know, I had this idea that they kind of like they are negative and this, that, and the
Hmm.
other. So I didn't want to associate with myself with them. Like all my
Hmm.
friends were like from here. But then I think as I got more sort of like exposed,
Hmm.
I just thought to myself, no, I'm actually now interested. I'm sure not all of them are the same. There are some genuine
Hmm.
people. And what I did is I just joined different communities, like on,
Hmm.
again, Facebook. There's so
Hmm.
many groups on Facebook where you find other people from the diaspora and you're all going through the same issues, so you can talk to them, but then you also
Mhm.
interact with people in Uganda. Like I have interacted with, social media has helped me to interact with my people in Uganda so that I know what's going on the ground.
Mhm.
So I definitely think that, yeah, we can use social media to help us to open our eyes to what's going on the ground, and then we can see and identify where we can
Mhm.
come in,
Mhm.
and be able to, I don't know, invest or do
Mhm.
whatever needs to be done. But I also think that it's been quite difficult for us as people that are living in the diaspora to find people that are trustworthy, because a
Mhm.
lot of people always complain that, let's say for example someone wants to build a piece of to build a house, and they
Mhm.
give someone money, even their own
Mhm.
relatives, they and
Mhm.
because of the economic situation,
Mhm.
people kind of take advantage, and you find that there's not really many people that you can trust. So I'm just wondering whether this generation of people from the diaspora can connect with people in Uganda that can be trustworthy. Because if you find someone who's trustworthy, then you're like, okay, well, I'm willing to invest in this, that, and the other. So that I think that's been
Uh-huh.
one of the major challenges that we have
Right.
experienced
Mhm.
in the diaspora. Yeah.
That's a very, 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 very powerful point. I believe that, and hopefully, as our platforms can grow, I know that the diaspora communities on social media are still, small.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're finding out is that we're burgeoning in a way so that we can try to give out more information and more people that are trustworthy.
Yeah.
Because I think what you're talking about is a very, very big issue, and
Yeah.
it's a problem not just from what I understand from the Ugandan community. Because I hear people all the time that comment. They say, I've lived in Los Angeles for 25 years. I've not come back, but as African Americans, we're like, well, why don't a lot of people from the continent come back? And this is a good
Mm.
issue. Why? And we don't know that, like,
Mm.
Caribbeans or African Americans, but this is an issue that a lot of
Mm.
people are taken advantage of, even by sometimes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, their own family members and things like that. So I think that on my end, and people like you and myself, we just have to work harder to try to get more information out there, and work with the
Mm-hmm.
people that you try to vet them and try to give the best information out there as possible. But that's a very, very strong point.
Yeah,
So,
because even if you get
go ahead.
like a referral from someone who's,
Mm-hmm,
let's say you've been dealing with somebody and you're like, you think
mm-hmm,
this person's really, really good. If I
mm-hmm,
know that O'Shea's been dealing with this person, then I'll know that, okay, I can trust this person. I can trust it.
mm-hmm,
Like when I first started my business, it was so hard to get the trust of my fellow Ugandans in Uganda. Like when I used to, when
mm-hmm,
we finish a transaction and then I say, and then it comes to the point where they have to give me money, they were like, but if I give you my money, what if you run away with it, or what if you what if I
mm-hmm,
can't find you? So I
mm-hmm.
had to earn their trust, and then I had to show them that no, this is not how I am. And so after a couple of transactions where I saw that she's really genuine, that's when they began to kind of like have more trust in me and just do more business with me, because I don't do things the Ugandan way. Like not the Ugandan one, but like a lot of them were like, "Oh, this is what's happened to me," and I was like, "No, listen, we're gonna be really professional." And so I think that us as well as people in the diaspora, we need to find certain people or links of people that are really professional, so that we can be able to move forward with whatever we want to do. It's gonna be good for them, and it's gonna be good for us as well. Like, we can use our platforms, like our channels, to expose these people and to make them known, as in these people are really good to do business with, and I think that can help.
Okay, okay. No, no, no. So I definitely thank you for that. So it's been a wonderful interview, and you really, really, really did an excellent job in explaining some things. Tell because you're gonna get some subscribers from this interview. Tell people what they can expect, because you do a lot of different things on the Maaso Glory channel. It's a really good channel,
Mm,
um, and it's very very robust in content. What will the
mm.
subscribers who are going to come over and check you out? What will they expect from your content?
So the subscribers that are gonna check me out, like I explained earlier, I do kind of like lifestyle. So I do lifestyle of my life in the UK, and this will be good for people that are in Uganda that want to know what things are like in the UK. What do UK places look like? London, what does the city look like? Shopping, I do lots of shopping as well. For those people that love shopping, beauty, because I'm into cosmetics, so I do a lot of like beauty tips and videos, and just general sort of like lifestyle videos, you lifestyle type of content. And then also when I go to Uganda, I will be filming or vlogging my experiences. So it's a little bit of everything, but it's all centered around lifestyle, travel, and beauty. So definitely do come and subscribe and say hi to me. I'll be more than happy to see you on my channel. And like I said,
Mhm,
I do have some series coming up as well, where I'm going to be doing it for small business
mhm,
people. A lot of my friends do different businesses, so I want to bring them on board so that they can show you, so we can show you how we run our business, how we do the shipping, how we do step by step, so that if you're out there and you want to be inspired, you've always wanted to start a small business but have never had the opportunity, you can kind of see how I do it, and then that can help you to build yourself and to build your small business.
mhm. Okay, so stay tuned. She'll definitely be back. Hopefully, thank you so much for reaching out and coming on to share the knowledge. And also, if you're a person, especially if you're in the Ugandan diaspora, we definitely want to target. I have a heart for the Ugandan diaspora, even though I'm not Ugandan, but I
Mhm.
feel that the country Uganda has been so good to me, so I want to use the platform and give them preference, right? So if you're Ugandan in the diaspora, we definitely want to build our content around the brothers and sisters from Uganda, and secondarily, Kenya, and then after that, everyone else. But we do want to give preference to the brothers and sisters that's from this area, because Kinganda is in Uganda, so we want to support our people abroad from there. Thank you again for the interview. It was great. I'll talk to you very soon. And you'll also, for those of you, you'll see this interview on her channel also. So we'll be having it on both places. So,
Thank
any
you
last
so
words?
much for having me. I just want to say that I just want to thank you as well for
Mhm.
what you're doing, because I just found out how did I find it out from? I'm in this YouTubers group that I found
Mm-hmm.
out about you, and then when I saw your Kinganda channel, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. I love the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you're bringing together people from the diaspora, African Americans, UK people,
Mm-hmm.
just showing them. It's really nice and refreshing to see what your perspective is of Uganda and the
Mm-hmm.
things that can be done to make it better. So I really want to say thank you as well for what you're doing. It's a fantastic job, and I hope that you keep on doing that because it's really inspiring a lot of us.
Oh, well, I'll definitely keep doing it. Thank you also for coming on. Shout out to the Ugandan diaspora, the African American community, the diaspora in general. We will be back. Maaso was great, and guys, keep it real. Uganda forever. We're out.
Take care.
All right. Well, guys, that's been all today. I really thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for coming over to the Kinganda channel. If you are a person that wants to be reached out to, specifically if you're in the Ugandan diaspora, or email me at teamkinganda@gmail.com. I do want to focus on the Ugandan diaspora for this particular segment, and also people that's outside of the diaspora. Obviously, if you want to connect with me, same email, right? But specifically, I want to help build up the Ugandan community because they've been so nice to us since we've been here, in Kampala. So shout out to Uganda. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Look forward to talking with you. Don't forget to go and subscribe to Maaso Glory's YouTube channel. And as you know, keep it real. Kinganda forever. I'm out.